4,993. Total votes cast 42860. 42860. The result is as presented, sir.
Thank you, the Collation officer. Were there issues as a result of the election from the local government? Was there a place or a polling unit where there was no election? Or the election was held and the results were cancelled, and then you tell us why it happens that way? Thank you.
All right. We have two issues in two wards with one polling unit each with an issue. Ebedebiri, Ward 05, polling unit 1. There was obstruction of the electoral process. Violence occurs around that particular unit, and the result from that unit is cancelled due to that disruption. The second one is Toru Ebeni, Ward Code 12, that is 12, in polling unit 01. There was a case of overvoting. We compared with the viewers, and it has been established there was a case of overvoting. So that result also was cancelled. So the total number of cancelled votes in that two units of the two different wards stand at 1,412, 1412. The distribution is as follows. In Ebedebiri 05, the total number of PVCs, 468, was cancelled. And in Toru Ebeni, 001 polling unit, 944 PVCs were collected. And because of the overvoting, those results, when you sum them up, it will give you the total number of 1412 votes were cancelled.
But despite protests by our agents, those results were polluted. Some of the electoral materials were hijacked and taken to some VIPs' houses. The report was made yesterday. INEC is aware that some materials were hijacked in Sabara. But I'm surprised that those units were also collated, and they all form part of this result that is being announced here.
Thank you.
Unfortunate situation.
Thank you very much. I hope you've made your formal report. You've made a formal complaint, APC agent. it will be taken officially. Thank you. All right. Any other one? Any other party agent? Please. Yes. Yes, please. Tell us your name and the party you are representing. Thank you.
My name is Victor running for the PC. I present Accords. Before now, I called yesterday, last night, I called my agent. Nofoni, Ebezebri, Torodua, and those areas. Because I heard some reports. And he told me categorically that elections were conducted, everything was peaceful. So I was surprised because my agent that I'm giving is there, is now representing me. I am giving me the rightful information on what happened in those areas. So I'm surprised by the APC agent that were ordered. So my agent told me categorically that that's what happened. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Any other comment, please, so that we can make progress? Please be brief. Once you know the comment you are going to make has been raised by another person, you don't need to repeat it, please, so that we can make progress. Thank you.
Thank you. Indeed, I will be very telegraphic. My name is Right Honorable Tafodogolo. I represent PDP. Now, it is not enough to make big and nebulous allegations and observations. Going forward, if we have any issue to raise, let us be specific. If you say so thing happened, name the place and present the facts so that we can react instead of, because if we just do it this way, we're wasting our time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Is this something new?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Alan Amaden. I'm the agent of SDP. Mine is an observation and one question. The cancellation, I want to ask the cancellation that he announced, is it done at the polling units or where is that cancellation done? Because now that one is the question. Then number two, my observation, because I observed that our agents, they told us that the election was conducted free, there was no issue, no violence, everything like that. But coming here, you will find out that right in your nose, they will take the results down to one canopy there. I want all of us to go there now. You see what they are doing there now. They will bring the result after collecting the thing from the polling units, the local government. They will now come to your office here and begin to remove this that other parties they are winning. Then another that there is violence there. There was no violence. They are just removing these polling units from there because they know that the other parties got higher votes from there. That is what they are doing. So I want us to go down to the canopy now. You will see what the INEC people they are doing there. Thank you, sir.
Please, what they are doing is highly recognized. It is recognized. They are not doing it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, what they are simply, please listen. Between there is reconciliation of figures. Reconciliation of figures, please. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, please go ahead.
I think the most important thing is if it's peaceful. He has confirmed that it's peaceful. So can we move forward?
That's it. We are making progress. Thank you very much. Local government coalition officer, bring the result. Make sure it is signed and stamped. Thank you.
Remove this.
Yes. Is there any local government that is ready? Okay, Nembe local government, please come forward. Where is their EO? Oh, all right. So please, the EO, tell us your name, and after which you transfer the mic to the LGO coalition officer. Thank you. Please sit down.
My name is Apiamo. My name is...
That mic is not.
Hello? My name is Apiamo Abi, electoral officer, Nimbe local government area. Thank you.
My name is Dr. Hassan Isiaka Imam, an associate professor from Federal University, Lafia, Nasarawa State, Nigeria. I am the collation officer for Nembe local government area in the governorship election of 11th November 2023 in Bayelsa State. The result for the Nembe governorship...
Please, the RAs, please. How many of them?
The Nembe local government has 13 RAs and 228 polling units.
Yes. Go ahead. Thank you.
The result for the governorship election held on the 11th November 2023 in Nembe local government area are as follows. Number of registered voters, 9, 9, 0, 3, 5. 9, 9, 0, 3, 5. Number of accredited voters, 2, 7, 4, 0, 4. Score by vote gotten by parties. A, party A, 0. Party A, 4. Party A, B, C, 2, 6.
Please, just point of order. Take them twice. Party A, so that you carry everybody along. Sorry.
Party A, 0. Party A, 0. Party A, 4. Party A, 4. Party ADC, 2, 6. Party ADC, 2, 6. Party ADP, 1, 8. Party ADP, 1, 8. Party APC, 2, 2, 2, 4, 8. Party APC, 2, 2, 2, 4, 8. Party ABGA, 7. Party ABGA, 7. Party APM, 5. Party APM, 5. Party APP, 2. Party APP, 2. Party BP, 4. Party BP, 4. Party LP. Party LP 1, 1, 3. Party LP 1, 1, 3. Party NRM. Party NNPP 1. Party NNPP 1. Party NRM. Party NRM 1, 6. Party NRM 1, 6. PDP 4, 5, 5, 6. PDP, sorry, P 4, 5, 5, 6. PRP 3. PRP 3. 2, 9. 2, LP 4. LP. Total vote. Value 2, 7, 3. Total vote 0. Total of reserve number of votes 2, 6. Total vote 2, 3, 0. Total vote 2, 3, 0.
Thank you. Was there a polling unit that there was no election or elections were held and results were cancelled?
Yes,
Can you tell us the reasons for the cancellation? Thank you.
In Okoroma Ward 1, Ward 9, 3 polling unit election was cancelled. And the reason is obstruction of the deployment process and bypass of the use of beavers. Then there are 3 wards that election was cancelled. Mini, Ikesi, and Olua. Okay. Ward 11, Mini, Ward 11, Ikesi, Ward 12, Olua, Siri, Ward 13. Election was cancelled. Reasons: abduction, diversion, and of development, deployment of personnel and materials along on the route.
What do you understand by diversion? What do you mean?
They were personnel were seized. He said material to polling units and.
Thank you. Please, let's make progress. Yes, APC. your name and then the party, even though we're still face cap. Please still tell us your name. And
My name is Dennis Ochi. It is unfortunate what is happening. I was expecting that you would ask me at what stage.
Please, from you, party agents,
Yes,
make it straight.
Yes, sir.
Your case straight away.
Yes, sir. Election was conducted. I am a registered voter in polling of Ward 11. I went and I voted. Result announced. The polling units were to the collation center. One collation officer goes. And then to the neighbor local accommodation and other here from the wreck, the materials and the skin to Inagua. Last night, this is suspicious. They resisted, and this morning in here. At this point, the just have polluted the unit level, all the 3 wards, and uploaded this result to the signed by the presiding officers for this polling units. At the ward level, collected, and in this office, it's very often the collation, LG collation officer here used this somewhere he got that, and so were the level 12 and 13. Now in APC scored 1139 votes. 39. For 12, got 8,925 votes. PDP scored 46.
Please,
let me finish now. APC scored 7,000 and PDP scored. The total votes scored by everyone, 3 was 1,005. 159. And these votes were. Now we have come here, and you said here that this the here are very clear. Regulation, which regulation at local, there is no room cancellation of this. These matters were this materials as a claim. The council
can you make a progress, please?
What formal complaint is that a local government of can you set level here?
Can you make
council results here, and you are saying that the national officer took 20
very much
begin. Brought the result of RL and in the RL
you've made it
by the appointed by you.
You are
national officer that were appointed by results.
Can you
and this is not respect. No. It was
can you be a kid?
I'm not finished. Let me they are cancelled because of obstruction of
easier. Let me make your case very simple. And what we are saying is that please make it formal.
What I am saying, officer, after INEC, that the local government where APC should be headquarters. We are winning something in church, they say bring it here. We are winning in Brass, they say bring it here. They say bring it here. The areas where Sabama,
you have no questions. I have
no case, please, that the local government officer ask him at what was cancelled.
Please,
was it? Where is the information for
it? Make it formal.
Where is the 40G? QC40G showing that there was no election in those areas.
Please
see those people feel any 40G.
Thank you very much, sir.
It's unfortunate.
Thank you.
What is happening here
is
real life robbery.
Thank you.
How can you the INEC order that 26,000 votes should be cancelled from the party because we are
Thank you very much. Thank you. Please.
You don't even ask him where is the 40G showing that the election were not held in those areas.
Can you hand
There is none
to another person?
There is none. Why? Because none exists.
You have made it.
He used his powers according to him. Where he got those powers, only God knows. Because
you have made
regulation 76 here is very clear. There is no room for a local collation officer to cancel results.
You have made your case.
I have not. I have not finished. Because when INEC collaborate with political parties to begin to rig election in this place, it is disheartening and it's worrisome for our democracy.
Thank you very much.
Because in the first place, the question, why will INEC order that the local government where APC is winning should be brought to this place to collect? Why the places where APC is winning should be collected by the local government? This is unfortunate.
Please, can you hand over? You've made your case. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Next, please.
Chairman, you are presiding and you are in charge. I want to first and foremost crave your indulgence to give me opportunity to also present my case.
Please,
yes.
Please, party agents, it's a general statement, please, to all of us. Please, let's be matured about this. I have told you in my opening remark that this is not a room where we will carry out judgment. By law, you are supposed to present your case and it ends there. The commission will take up the case as presented officially and it will be handled appropriately. But please, what we are interested in here is to listen to the figures that are coming in the name of results. Please. So please be brief about it. Thank you very much, sir.
Please permit me to address that last point.
No,
hold on, sir.
It's okay.
Please, hold on.
These are the word results. These are the word results from the world.
Can we be orderly, please? Can we be orderly? Can we be orderly?
On the hold on, we don't do that. I have the protection of the returning officer. Now, on that, I want to first make reference to clause 91. Regulations and guidelines for the conduct of elections. In the course of collation of results, there shall be opportunity for all complaints to be heard, insofar as they are not disruptive. I am not prepared to sacrifice clarity on the altar of speed. I have more grievous complaints than him. And that's why I want to, as clear as possible, but I'm mindful of the time too, clear as possible, present my constraints, my problems, and my challenges, and ask for a resolution. And I will also demonstrate to this forum that as collation officer, you have the power to grant the prayers I want to request for. Now, if you look at, you made the last point you made was that we are after the calculations, the figures, and so on. Please, with due respect, that is not the case. If that were the intention of the law, we have here collation support and result verification system. The secretariat is here. They are to help you as the collation officer to do calculations and ensure that there's mathematical accuracy. If that is all the work that we are supposed to do, then an erudite professor like you cannot be appointed to come here as a state collation officer to play this role. So we need to do more than that, and that is what I want to demonstrate, that as a collation officer,
please get one point clear.
Yes.
We did not say we are just here, but if you have any complaint, make it formal.
Yes.
And not for us to stay here and start dragging on issues that we will not be able to resolve it here.
We will.
I hope you understand. Present the case and let's make progress. That's what we are simply saying.
Yes, by the time I make it clear, we'll be able to resolve it. Now, I want to draw our attention to the situation so that we have clarity of understanding. That we have grounds with the situation in Basambi, Nembe. there are two major components of the Nimbe local government area. You have the Ogolomabri section and the Basambri section. The Basambri, they have they have 4 wards in the mainland, and there are 3 wards in the suburbs. That is the Mini Ikesi and the Oluwasiri. There are 3 wards there. What INEC have done is that in the 3 wards where your own personnel, because if there is anything we need to do, even as people appointed by INEC to come and play this role, we have to protect our personnel. Your personnel were abducted. Their personal liberty deprived. Materials taken away. So INEC was able to stay alive to its responsibility and decided to cancel those 3 wards. Now for the other 4 wards, because those 3 wards were from the suburbs, from the local government headquarters, Basambri Island, they were supposed to be taken to the various suburbs outside the highland. But it was not done. Everybody was held hostage. This is not hearsay. You have your internal reports. And INEC is not partial. If INEC said, look, there was abduction of our personnel and materials were not taken to those areas and we have cancelled it, I think that it should have the support of all of us, 1 million people in this society. Then the other area, the other ones, the 4 ones in the highlands, we want to compare without fear of contradiction that there were no elections, so that this body has the right to ask that the beavers be queried. Because, and if I'm allowed, I would like to demonstrate that. Because if you look at the provisions of the law,
we don't have the luxury of time.
No, but I am prepared. I want us to have understand.
You see, please, this case is very simple. We have said it, make your case, and we make progress, please. Even if we stay here until the next morning, this is not a courtroom. I hope you understand that.
It is not a courtroom, and I am experienced enough. I've been Attorney General after 7 years at the bar. This is not a courtroom. I know with the limits. But you are entitled. We must draw your attention to areas. When I talk about how INEC staff were maltreated, is it my personal concern? But I'm a Nigerian, I'm a public servant. And I feel that innocent INEC staff could be manhandled. So now on the issue of I said that the beavers machine be interrogated with regards to those 4 wards, because since there were it is our contention that nothing took place there, and things were just formulated. If you look at section 47, subsection 2 of the Electoral Act 2022 as amended. Please, with your kind permission, let me read. To underscore the importance of our directing that
party agents.
Yes.
Party agents.
Yes.
I think I have been humble enough to accept and accommodate some of the excesses here. I have told you time without number, this is not a courtroom. I have said make it formally and it ends there. My case, because you can't change anything from here as far as this case is concerned. And I think I'll be forced to give you time, after which that mic will be seized from you. Please grant me extension for 3 more minutes. Please.
I will be very laconic. Now look at, before me, you have the petitions. We are not just making up stories here as advocates. We have petitions that have been forwarded to the system.
And that is all. Leave the commission to handle this thing.
I am saying that at this stage of collation, that you have the power to direct that. No, that is what you should do.
No. The complaint has been written and it has been submitted to appropriate quarters. So what do you want us to do?
No,
it will be handled officially.
No, that is, please, can I make myself clear with the use of language? The point I am making is that this collation is not a robotic setup. That at this stage of the collation, that you have the rights, when you are persuaded by the presentation, that
the documents are there that will study.
No, not the documentation. If we were to rely on documents, then there will be no need even for agents to make comments as envisaged under the regulations. We have the power under the law to make presentations to you. Then it's left for you and your team to consider it and give a reasonable, fair and reasonable decision. That's why I am saying, and my prayer is that the beavers machines, the beavers are so crucial, and that in a situation where we are saying that the beavers were not deployed, there were no elections in an area, 4 wards, and I was specific, I was not nebulous, 4 wards, that those beavers machines be queried because of the pivotal importance, the importance of the use of beavers. Because no election can take place if you don't deploy beavers, because that is what will be used for accreditation.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Please, you take a decision.
Thank you very much, please. Thank you. Next, is there anybody? I think we can make progress, please. Thank you. No, you have made a case.
I'm not. Let's hear him. I remain Victor White Petition, the agent at court. Sir, with the records the professor has and the AO shows that my party Accord scored 0. It's a very laughable, pitiable, very funny situation. Sir, to the best of your knowledge, my deputy candidate of my party is nominated. Even though you cannot win, at least he has to vote for himself. He has a wife. He has a wife that has to vote for him herself. Sir, please, I'm sorry, sir, please.
Thank you very much.
No, sir, please, I'm going somewhere. In this hall, we are all aware that recently, maybe there are a lot of crises and killing. And today, where staffs, their lives were at risk. They were adopted. They were adopted. I believe that, sir, the first primary assignment you have for the security agency is to protect lives and property. But in this hall, to my greatest surprise, we try to sweep those criminal activities under the carpet. Their lives are involved. But they are secure. Sir,
thank you.
This never results and is seriously altered.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And so therefore, it will take its course.
Thank you.
I am not in agreement with this result.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Please. Thank you. I think we can wrap it up. Thank you very much. We can wrap it up, please.
My name is Ambassador Victor Ben, representing the Boot Party. I know time is of importance in this.
One house, please. Let's have one house. Let's listen, please. One house, please. Media journalists, please. Let's have one house. Please. It's a serious business here, so please, let's have one house. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. So, time is important. We know the management of time is important. So, should not, because of the management of time, and don't do the right thing in this very center, Collation Center. That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. We're all doing the right thing right now, including you, since you're here. Yes, next, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Frederick Breda Mefmoyo, ADC, and I'm happy that my local government is being debated. It is always a very, very interesting thing to see that Nimbe local government is always debated.
You are not talking to the mic, please.
Okay, sorry. Why I'm standing to say, I participated in the elections. I went to my polling units and I voted. I traveled down to Nimbe and I voted. And I have my agents.
Please make it loud.
Okay, I have my agents covering all the units, covering all the wards and the local government headquarters. And the reports that was given to me that elections were conducted. So therefore, I want to ask, on what ground are we going to accept, or are we saying that these words that is in debate should be cancelled?
Thank you very much. We have all the records with us. That question cannot be answered here. If you have any protest, please write it officially and let's have it. Thank you. We can make progress. The last man, please. Last man, thank you.
Thank you. My name is Chief William Spaka, the agent for National Rescue Movement. Like one of our brothers here said, we all also...
please, let me get something clear. Which party is that?
National Rescue Movement.
So what's the acronym for it?
NRM.
Okay.
Good. It's a very beautiful name because we are to rescue Bayelsa and we are being robbed. Because even when our agents, coincidentally in the last election, in the House of Assembly election, we had a candidate that is from this ward 12. He was there and saw his vote being counted only for to get here today that vote is cancelled. Like you said, we're also making an official report to that. Because those votes cannot be cancelled. We saw those elections conducted.
Thank you.
We still have our result sheet with us.
Thank you. Thank you. You are the last speaker. I won't be any speaker anymore. Thank you very much, please. The LGA Collation officer, please come forward and present your result. Make sure it is stamped and signed. Thank you. Thank you. This way. Make sure those copies of the reports. Please. No, first name, just because it's first. Thank you. Please. Thank you. Thank you. Do we have? Yeah. So please, the next local government. Thank you. Where's the next local government? Ekiremo, local government area. Electoral officer and the officer, please. Ekiremo. Okay, Ekiremo. Please, let's have one house. The EO, all right, introduce yourself, and then you hand over the mic to the LGA Coalition officer for his own introduction, and then subsequent presentation of results. Thank you. Please sit down. Please sit down. Can we have one house, please? One house, gentlemen and ladies. We are responsible men and women in this hall. Let's maintain silence, please. It's a serious business. Thank you. Please go ahead.
My name is Wallo Lambert, the electoral officer for Ekiremo local government area.
My name is Professor Musa Dalhatu, the local government collection officer for Ekiremo local government.
So please, you can start the presentation of the result, please. And you will do that by telling us the number of areas that constitute the local government area. Thank you.
Once Professor Musa Dalhatu from Federal University of Lafayette. I'm appointed the Collation Officer of Ikoromo Local Government for Gubernatorial Election 2023. Ikoromo Local Government is having 12 electoral wards. At the end of the exercise today, the number of registered voters recorded is 146649. 146649. The number of accredited voters 32066. Accredited voters 32066. The scores by political parties: Party A 00, Party A 00, Party B, Party AA 00, Party AA 00, Party ADC 11, Party ADC 11, Party ADP 15, ADP 15, APC 8445, Party APC 8445, Party APGA 04, APGA 04, Party APM 03, APM 03, Party APP 01, APP 01, Party BP 13, Party BP 13, Party LP 50, LP 50, Party NNPP 02, NNPP 02, Party NRM 18, NRM 18, Party PDP 23172, 23172, Party PRP 06, PRP 06, SDP 00, SDP 00, Party ZLP 01, ZLP 01. Total valid votes 31741, 31741. Rejected votes 279, 279. Rejected votes. Total votes cast 32020, 32020. The result has been signed and signed by 8 of the agents. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Was there any polling unit? Who is that? What's the problem? But the registered voters did not tally. You are supposed to, in the course of reconciliation, you are supposed to do that. What is the total voters registered there? As recognized by INEC. The one given by INEC 137225.
That is the official one. That is what we should use. 13 what?
137225.
Thank you. All right. Was there any polling unit where election was not held, or the elections were held but cancelled? So please, and then you tell us the reasons. Thank you.
Okay. We have about 5 polling units in the LGA that were election didn't take place to conclusion. And virtually all of them, the reasons are deliberate attempt not to use beavers, bypass of beavers, right? Bypass of beavers. Some of them even snatch the beavers and throw into the river. So almost all of them is the same case.
So it's 000
were recorded.
So they were not really cancelled.
No, it wasn't. There was no case of cancellation.
Thank you. Comments, please. Party agents, thank you. I think we can take the results.
The state return officer is doing, it seems that party agents are not supposed to be there. So that we can just go and then we can be doing whatever thing that we want to do here.
Please withdraw that statement. That is not correct.
But that's what you said.
I have been making statement that party agents, any observation. Please don't say that. The fact that we are accommodating you does not mean that you can just throw words to.
Well, it's my right. I'm representing the political party.
That is not correct.
I am representing the political party.
I think we should be more
responsible. I have the right to be here.
We should be more
responsible. So you are condoning it. It means that you are saying that the APC is not supposed to be here.
No. The fact that we are here, all of us are here for the same place, but we should be responsible.
We are responsible.
You can't just throw words to me like that. I'm a responsible.
But your statement, you made a remark.
I have asked.
Accept the
I have asked. I said any.
I was raising my hands. My name is Dr. Dennis Ochochi.
Please, let's have one house. Please, let's have one house. Let's have one house. Please, please, let's be calm. It's okay. Party agents, please calm down. Please, Oga, please calm down, please. It's okay. Mr. Buto is okay. Please. Thank you. Please go ahead and make your.
So, Dr. Dennis Ochochi, I represent APC. My comment is this, that the results from Ekeremo, we are aware, which we have also reported, that almost all the polling units, beavers were not used. The beavers was bypassed. But they insisted on collating the results, despite insistence from our ward collation agents, to the fact that the figure there at the beavers machine and what is on the result does not tally, but they were accepted and presented here. That's what we want to, the point we want to make, that the beavers were not used in Ekeremo local government area. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Please, clarification, please. Party agent APC, you've made a formal complaint?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, please.
Just to straighten the records, my name is Right Honorable Fodongolo. The presentation by my colleague is not correct. Beavers was used, elections were fairly conducted. Thank you, sir. In the local.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next, the man behind you, please.
Okay. My name is Ambassador Victor Ben, representing the Boot Party. I'm from Ekremo local government. Voting took place. There was no trouble. Everything went peacefully. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Any other observation from party agents? Yes, please. The last demand there.
Thank you very much, Prof. My concern is over an issue that is becoming worrisome. Within the electoral laws, there is no provision for the bypass of the beavers. But it's fast becoming a trend that people that were trained with taxpayers' money will go to the field and exhibit that level of recklessness. And nothing is being done about them just because they are adult staff. I think it is not correct, and we need to do something about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I think we can take the results from the local government coalition officer. Thank you. Thank you. Do we have any other local government that is ready? All right. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have actually finished with the local government that were available here, and so we will keep waiting for the remaining one. I think we have 2 more. We will adjourn and return. No? We will reconvene at 6 o'clock. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Very soon.
State Collation Center here in Yenagoa, and right now just 2 more local government areas are left to be collated and results declared. But for now, there would be an adjournment, and right after then, we should be able to get to know the winner of these elections. Okay, so we should be able to get results any moment from now. This in Bayelsa State, 8 local governments are expected to be collated and of course the results given. But for now, we just have 6 given so far. So we're still waiting for 2 more local government areas. And of course, the returning officer just announced that there would be an adjournment of these proceedings, after which we would return. We're not too sure when that will be ready. But as soon as that is ready, we would return to give us a bit-by-bit account of proceedings from here in Yenegua. Also to also let you know that based on the results declared so far, one fear that a lot of people have had is a very high level of voter apathy, and it appears that that has played out once again, because in some of the local government areas, and of course the results declared, you find out that the numbers of accredited voters are far lower compared to voters that are eligible or voters that are registered. Like in, let me just check one of these local government areas. Okay, for instance, in Ekeremo, where you had almost 100,000 registered voters, it came up to just 32,000 accredited for the election, and it's played out all through most of the local government areas. Actually, most of the local government areas had like 20% or at most 30% of voters that actually came out to cast their vote. According to some of the party agents, they blame this on intimidation. Yeah, that some of their some of the voters were actually intimidated not to even come to the polling unit. And I think it's one thing that has played out over and over in Bayelsa election. And I think the relevant authorities should begin to look at this. I don't think it borders on voter sensitization, as even the state returning officer said at some point that it's not an issue of non-sensitization of voters, and the parties, they need to do more, the politicians, they need to do more, and of course everyone, every stakeholder should do more to encourage people to come out and vote instead of the high level of voter apathy that we often in election. But we're still here to bring you update as proceedings continue. But for now, we're all waiting for the 2 other local governments that are left, Southern Ijaw, and I think the Brass local government areas.
Yeah, Chris, I mean, little did we know that, you know, we're going to get those kinds of reaction when the collation was going to begin. Well, you know, we did ask you if we're going to, if the agents were calm or if they had a lot of things up their chest, but clearly we all saw how heated and animated they were when those results were being announced. And here you are, I mean, you and I, you know, Sheon kept on telling us, don't use the word just. I think we learned our lessons with this one.
Bayelsa. I told you, I said so. Don't underestimate Bayelsa.
Now we're still waiting for 2 more.
Watch what you say about Bayelsa. I mean, if you're not careful, I have experienced Bayelsa, it will hold us down. I mean, I've seen it before. Bayelsa election have been declared inconclusive twice before. Yes.
But interestingly, I mean, from what Chris and was observing there, much as we didn't see, and gentlemen, you pointed that out as well, for the Imo returning officer who they felt, I mean, could have conducted himself a little more in terms of handling that fracas, the manhandling of a certain party agent, I think Labour Party agent that was there at the time. But from what we saw in Bayelsa there, it did appear as though I think the returning officer just allowed things to simmer down a bit, tried to accommodate a lot of those party agents, but they kept on pointing out where they had issues with Collation, with INEC, fell short of accusing INEC of collaborating with some party agents, but from the look of things, it turned out that he just wanted everyone to just get a lot of things off their chest, but within the limits.
I would love to, I mean, if Chris can tell us, you are in and within around this the Collation Center. Things must be so intense right now, especially when a Southern Ijaw and Brass, these are also not in any mean measure little local governments in terms of how they swing this whole election. And these are the kind, I mean, Southern Ijaw, for example, it has the largest voting population in the entire state. Anything that comes out of it, you can imagine that someone who wins Southern Ijaw can be the winner of this election. It can call that election. So what is the feeler? What is the pulse like within and around? I know a lot of people will be trooping and coming around the Collation Center. I can imagine a heavy presence of security operatives. Paint a picture of what it looks like in and around the Collation Center there in Yenagoa for us.
Well, the good thing is you've experienced it before and you know what we are talking about. It's not far from what you just spoke about. A lot of activities happening around, beehive of activities, people seated all around, protests here and there, they want their results to be declared. Whatever, they don't want to mind what INEC says, but they just want their results to be declared. And that is the situation. And of course, you see, the police and the security agencies or agents, they are, of course, all around waiting to thwart any form of violence that might erupt. Earlier in the day, we saw the army, we saw the navy, and they're still very much around because they know how combustible things could be. So right now, yes, it might be tensed, but I also know that there are some voters who don't mind at this point. They just tell you, whoever wins, wins, you understand? But win or lose, they just want the state to develop. But at this point, we hope the security agencies would be on top of their game so as to forestall any form of violence or any form of breakdown of laws and orderlies. That is what we look forward to, and we hope that is what plays out. But for now, of course, people are seated, they're waiting to see what next happens.
Yeah, my friend, I probably would just give an advice. I'm sitting cool here under the very wonderful conditions of our studio here, but I'll tell you that you go have a quick dinner. Since we'll reconvene in about an hour, that's a window of opportunity for you. I know you've been up all day. Well done, Chris, and the team right there on the ground. Our correspondent, Chris Ilams, who's reporting live for us on the field at the Yenagoa, the Collation Center in Bayelsa State.
Well, clearly, yes, we did see PDP winning Ekeremo, local government area. We also see them win, I think, Brass, and then APC taking Nembe. So the back and forth just going on there. So quite interesting showing. So expect
naturally. Look at it, Chamberlain. Out of the 8 local government areas, 5 of them announced, isn't it? Right.
So now we're expecting 2 more, as I said.
No, that means 6 of them. Out of the 6, 5 of them won by Duyediri and Tini Presiva. Nembe is with about 22,000, which is won in Nembe local government area. From what we've seen in the past and what we know, 2-3 local government areas can mean a lot. And that's why you cannot really keep your eyes off Bayelsa as of now. If you know the intricacies about Bayelsa politics, it's very difficult to call. Southern Ijaw is going to be very critical. But as we have it right now, this is what we know, isn't it?
Of course, that's a battleground for me in Bayelsa. Like, you know, it has got 51% of the registered voters in the state, and we have seen also what has happened in the past. I am not surprised that it is taking this long to get it in, especially because of the travel distance between Southern Ijo and Yenogua. But I am hoping that I started on a very good footing in Bayelsa today. I'm hoping that within the next hour, like they had committed, that they will be able to safely conclude the process in Bayelsa.
It means you're happy with the performance so far?
So far with what has been coming in. I mean, if you look at the trade state, even in the build-up to the election, for some reasons this time, Bayelsa has been in the low. In the past, Bayelsa used to be the one on the high in terms of incidents and all of that. The major incident that was reported in Bayelsa was something that happened, I think, either in August or March in Nembe. Of course, and since then, what we have been having from Bayelsa, the usual rhetoric between the banters between them, hate speeches and all of that. So, but no major incident until this. I was shocked, to be honest, when I saw the reaction from the party agent, because all the while Bayelsa has been very cool. But of course, this is also expected.
Yeah, don't let us clap too much for that. Because if you ask INEC, they will tell you, twice now they've been beaten. Twice now they've had their staff abducted. I mean, thank God that the woman has been released. The woman who was headed for Kolokuma. And now we've seen a situation where when every other person, a stakeholder in this election, politician, and every other person complaining about one thing and protesting, INEC has joined the fray to protest to say, look, we've had our people held hostage. Someone help us. So I mean, it's not going to be. It's not been a smooth ride for INEC in this race, as it is not being for other people. But in this, let's look at the figures. What the figures are telling us generally. So we're expecting Southern Ijo and Brass. That's what we're expecting. We've heard. Look, I mean, the result from Tagbama local government, Kolokuma, Opokuma, Yenagua local government. Yenagua, for example, has the highest in terms of the PVC collected, 201,490. But if you check how many people came for accreditation, you will be disappointed. Ogbia local government announced, Nembe announced, out of Nembe local government area with 97,328 PVC collected. The person who led that in that local government won with 22,000 votes. You can see the difference. So we're expecting Southern Ijo with 182,659 and Brass with 91,502. These two local government areas are some island of some sort. Bayelsa itself is some kind of island too, but these two local government, in terms of the topography, they're underwater. So Southern Ijo, you will travel nothing less than 1 hour to get to Yenagua. Brass, almost 2 hours before you get to Yenagua. This is the kind of terrain you find in that area. Perhaps the reason why you will have, and if you look at them, they are the closest local government. If you look at it on the map, Southern Ijo has, in terms of the size, is bigger than most of the local government areas of Bayelsa State. Brass and Southern Ijo, they are very close. They are neighboring local government areas, but they are far away from Yenagua. So you find a situation where these two local government areas will give you about 300,000 votes put together. That's how massive the votes are there from Southern Ijo.
Definitely worth the wait.
It's worth the wait.
It's going to be huge. But gentlemen, what about the people themselves here? I mean, we've talked about INEC, security agencies, political parties. But every election cycle, the electorates always at the end of the entire thing. They keep coming out despite of whether they're satisfied or not with how the process has gone. Well, James, I mean, I haven't seen how over the years, here we are talking about the kind of amendments we expect to see so that elections will again be better. So for the people, do you think that at the end of the day, they look at this election, do they say, look, haven't seen how we performed last time, the result, the one we've seen this year is a little better?
I think the takeaway for me is that Nigerians have not lost hope in the ballot system when it comes to leadership recruitment, despite all that happened in the 2023 general election. Despite all the complaints and all that, people still have hope that they can still make a difference. And that's why you see that people were able to turn out, even though the turnout is still not, appreciable compared to the other time. When you have registered voters of running to hundreds of thousands and you have less than half of that coming out, it doesn't speak well. But the truth is, people still have hope that, yes, we can make a difference. And the good thing is that conducting themselves very well now. This time around, we had very little incidents of deaths. Before we'll be counting ballot and be counting number of people that died. But this time around, a complete departure from that. So now, what we'll be looking is, at the end of this exercise and all that, now, how do we start rebuilding people's confidence in the system, despite all the all that,
which is always a factor in every election cycle. But don't forget too, many states like Bayelsa, they're prone to flooding. They went through a lot of that not long ago for the flooding season. They were always crying out to the government to do a lot more for those communities. But yet, you still see them every election cycle, they come through, the same with several other communities. Do you think largely, broadly speaking now, that if people actually understand the importance of their vote, such that when they come out and perform that civic duty of theirs, they, by implication, know that they should expect development, having trusted a particular person or party?
I think mostly we should look at the way they are mobilized during the election. For instance, now the political parties, they know that, okay, to a very large extent now, they cannot just go about, bundling figures and coming up with results and all that. So they do a lot of voter mobilization. And of course, the civil society, INEC and the like. And where the problem is that the civic education has not gotten to the point of getting the citizen to know the power they wield under the Constitution, which is holding their elected officials responsible and accountable after they get to the office. What we have is the citizen trading their card for some kind of inducement, so say money or wrapper or all manners of voter inducement and all that, and they see that as their own settlement from the whole process. So we need to get to a point where citizens are well enlightened and they know that when they put these people to power, those people have responsibility to provide basic amenities for them. Look at the issue of flooding you have mentioned, for instance. Now, it's a recurring decimal every year. The question we're asking is, what are the mitigating factors each government is having in this riverine area, in the state as a whole, to ensure that in the next flooding season, people will not be displaced, or even when they are displaced, they are not turned to just subhuman in the IDP camps and all that. These are the questions that the citizens need to be asking the people they are putting into power now, and of course, subsequently.
Well, Paul, I know that, Yaga, time and again, you all go out there, you deploy personnel, different parts of the country to ensure that we have this improvement and at least a lot of credibility in our system with huge integrity such that it's tenable anywhere you go, not just substantial compliance, but of course, people see value. So while you go about all of that and then you come up with your recommendations, do you get the sense that at the end of the day, the kind of impact and the reason why you're asking them to come up is not lost on them, such that development also applies after the vote?
So sometimes for us, we realize on the fact that we see our engagement most times like it's not a relay but a marathon. Most of these changes come, but they come incrementally, they come with time. And so most times as we engage, especially with the citizens, as we provide the basic education of what to understand as they engage with the elected representative, we are also doing that with the mindset or with the understanding that, look, these changes you want may not come over time. It's like trying to cut off the branch or the root of a tree. You keep hitting with the axe until you get the desired result idea. So sometimes we want to also encourage patience, but importantly, I think what you want the people to know as we engage is also, like I just have said, but our own in the different contexts, the power of their vote. When we go to engage, when we go to speak to them, we try to educate them to the effect that they understand what value their PVC holds, what value they also hold as a voter, and that election doesn't just happen on a particular day, but that it is important as they engage to also think beyond the election, how to hold these leaders to account. So we do different phases of engagement. We do before the election, but mostly after the election, we come up with this community organizing school where we educate young people especially about how they can also go back to continue to expand on what we thought are the sort of values we want to see in the society.
In spite of the process, as we keep observing time and again, now we're here waiting for 2 more local governments to come in and then announce, and then you get a winner. Do you see a time in the years ahead, and probably how soon, such that we don't have to wait this long? At the end of the day, yes, it might be a distance, but we do way better, not having to put our lives on hold, technically speaking. And then because of election, because other African countries, life goes on while they're doing elections.
I'm sincerely an advocate of that, like having an election without necessarily stopping everything. Sometimes elections are conducted, even vehicular movements are suspended for interstates and all of that. And you think about the huge cost of doing that, the economic cost of doing that to the nation itself. But beyond that is even the processes like James has also mentioned. Some of these things, there are ways we can fast track them. We are so stuck in this mindset of, oh, it has to be this method. You don't also want to change from that method. Oh, we know INEC has to get sensitive material. They had to deploy nonsense. All of this can be done at once, to be honest, without this sort of fanfare that comes with engaging, organizing elections in the country. But beyond that also is a point that for the people, as we continue to speak with this, what I think is lacking in all of this conversation is even the trust. I know the trust deficit is so very low, and that is why you begin to see all of this, especially from the government, from the people, and all of that. On the part of the government, we can relax some of these unnecessary laws around our election, but even on the part of the people, maybe we also need to begin to trust a little more and understand the fact that elections are conducted by people like us. But importantly, in the defense of INEC, INEC will tell you some of these issues are even around election that you people keep shouting. It is people like you that manage the elections. INEC staff strength is small. You go to the field, they have to deploy corps members and all of that. So if these issues happen, they happen from the people. So maybe you start a bottom-top approach. While we do that engagement, I think also on the part of the government, like you rightly also have alluded, we need to relax some of these laws around how elections are conducted.
How do you see it?
For me, I think fast-tracking the issue is not a rocket science. For instance, now let's look at the issue of this result we are waiting for now. You just said that this local government is several hours from this. Come on, we are living in a country that has many, what do you call it, these helicopters in the Navy, in the police. I can remember in 2015, we had the aerial observation of election in Kogi State with the Nigerian police. I was in one of the chopper. Within a record time of 30 minutes, we went from Kogi East to Kogi Central to Kogi West and back and landed. So now if you have such arrangement, we'll be having question of waiting for Southern Niger for several hours just to return the result. What happened to the choppers with the Nigerian Navy, Nigerian Air Force, the Nigerian police and all that? So it's about us being sincere in our operation. For me, there's no tenable reason why all these results will be delayed. If we're having a general election where all the whole country is being managed on the same day, we'll be having a little bit of reasonable excuse to say that is.
Do you know that has come up in any of INEC's meeting with CSOs whatsoever, that option?
Well, the option INEC keep telling us, if my memory can remind me, is that they are relying on...
I didn't know you have a memory card.
the National Union of Marine Workers. So they are still using the speedboat. And remember that in the sea, once there's a different tide like this, you may not be able to move in a particular direction. So if that happens midway, the result can capsize in the sea, or anything can happen to it. So that left us with the option of using helicopter and all that to fast track the process. dropping those people and bringing them back. So the issue of boat capsizing will be done away with. The issue of militants attacking them in the high sea will be done with. So INEC and other stakeholders should be able to look at all these things. And again, in other operations, it's a multi-stakeholder affair, and as I keep saying, it's unfortunate that the whole buck stops on the table of INEC. INEC has no control over a rogue security operatives that go to the polling units on election day to do what they are doing. Like yesterday now, we saw some fake policemen being apprehended by the real police people. INEC has no control over that. INEC has no control over an ad hoc staff that you engage for a while to conduct the election if the person chooses to, you know, compromise and manipulate the process. So
why not?
Well,
is that
the control they have is an aftermath, right? It's an aftermath. When the deal is being done, INEC will not be there. They only get to hear about it. For instance, the pre-field result now, INEC was not there when.
No, we understand that person is said to be an INEC official.
Well, INEC, we have INEC official, we have INEC ad hoc official. So an INEC ad hoc official, somebody that's recruited for the purpose of that election. So whatever that person does within that place is not completely under the control of INEC. That's what I mean.
Yeah, some news just coming in. As reactions, we're getting more reactions from the different political parties and candidates. This time around, coming from Kogi State, and we're getting stories as to the reactions of the PDP governorship candidate in Kogi State, Senator Dino Melaye. He's come out to condemn the exercise and he's called for the cancellation. He says that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, should cancel the result of the election in its entirety, not in one or two local government, but the entire exercise. He was addressing the press today in Lokoja just a few minutes ago, where he says the electoral umpire and its ad hoc staff have been highly compromised. Several infractions were deliberately executed in favor of the APC, and its candidate, Senator Melaye, alleged that his votes were deliberately subtracted in addition to cases of overvoting in Kogi Central. It adds that election never took place in some parts of the state, but results were declared against the will of the people. News just coming in. Senator Dino Melaye, candidate of the PDP, has been reacting to the election of yesterday, and he says there is a deliberate attempt by INEC in cahoot with the APC. He is alleging that the deliberate attempt to reduce his vote and also subvert the process. He's asking INEC to cancel the exercise in its entirety.
Can that happen?
Well, I am just surprised that he's shifting the goalposts. I know yesterday his call was to cancel the election in Kogi Central, but I think you also want to look at the election on a case-by-case basis. What is the scale and scope of whatever is the infraction from the election? If you look at it from the lenses of the other opposition, the SDP, they are not condemning the election that happened in Kogi East. They are rather asking for the cancellation of the election in the Central, not even in Kogi West. So, I mean, politicians are entitled to whatever, their opinion around whatever they think, however they think the election has been conducted. But to the best that we know, where we thought were challenging locations where even INEC had come out to admit that there were concerns around pre-filled election results. So I think on that basis, it is enough to say INEC should cancel election in those locations and go back to reconduct election. I don't have details about what may have transpired in other polling units, so that, like I said, he is within his right to protest. But again, we also have to see what are the whether it is enough reasons for INEC to want to cancel an entire election of the state.
From what you know of the Electoral Act and the relevant laws, what option do you think is available to INEC in consideration of the statement they released about those incidences that they noticed?
What I think for INEC, just like they did in the national election, is what they are also trying to do now, to finish the collation first before they begin to come up with the margin of lead principle. And as it stands, it's almost looking like INEC may conclude this election on first ballot. So
even without those incidents they raised?
If you begin to think about the number of PVCs and registered voters in those locations, but it may be too early, too soon to conclude until the process is concluded. I mean, the collation is concluded by INEC. But I think that is what they want to do. Even for national election, if you recall, Dino Malaye was the agent for the PDP. That he raised concerns at the collation center. Of course, INEC waived that until after. I mean, they continued with the collation, and at the end, they came up with the number of locations where elections were not held or cancelled, and they were not substantial enough to have forced INEC to go back to conduct another election. So I think that is also what they want to explore with the Kogi election. They want to go through the entire process first before they see what it will amount to based on the location where elections were not held, whether they will go back to conduct elections in those locations. But I think in the spirit of fairness, it is also important. I know in 2015 in the election, based on what happened to the late Adu, if you recall, and then has to also go back to complete election in locations where elections were not held. Even though it appeared as though there was already a winner even without concluding the election, INEC went back to do that. If you recall also in the case of Okija in Anambra State, 2021, where in 20 local government, INEC had conducted election but was not able to conduct election in the local government. They wanted a separate day to conduct election, even though it appears there was already a winner from the election. So I am feeling like, for the sake of just allowing the process to conclusively conclude, INEC may go back to conclude in those locations.
So James, do you think that if this kind of considerations will weigh heavily on the authorities to conduct it? Because if you do, if this is cancelled, it may then turn out to be way off cycle, not just off cycle.
No, I think this is where statistics comes to play. The INEC, I'm sure, are trying to weigh the effects the registered voters there are going to have on the overall outcome of the election. And I think by the time they are done doing that, they will not be able to decide if they should go and conduct another one there, or just announce the results as the case may be. So this is where getting to know the provision of the Electoral Act comes to play. Important we understand what the law says in this kind of circumstance, so that we don't overheat the polity unnecessarily. So I think that's what should be playing out here. So INEC, in his wisdom, should be looking at what the effect of this particular 9 was in the Ogorimagogo area is going to have on the overall outcome of the election. Of course, INEC know that the rest of the political party know what is obtainable when it comes to what the law says about it, and of course, they will be able to deviate from that.
Yeah, let's also tell you about some of the stories that we're tracking as per this election and some of the new information that we have. Good news this time around as to the abducted SPO INEC official in Bayelsa. Still, pictures are coming in. How she looks like? What does she look like? Yes, there we go. Now that the woman who was abducted yesterday in the course of conducting the election, the SPO INEC has said that yes, she has now regained her freedom. The Independent National Electoral Commission released a press statement signed by Wilfred Ifoga, saying that they're pleased to inform stakeholders and concerned citizens of Nigeria that the INEC supervisory presiding officer earlier abducted on the eve of election has been freed, and the officer is doing fine. We are happy to know that. The commission, we should thank all of those who acted and showed concern in ensuring the safe release and return of the officer. We do have pictures of that. Of course, a copy of the statement has been released by INEC. I wonder why is the picture?
We'll bring it much later then. But this kind of scenario, I mean, for other officials, citizens who may be sitting back watching this, tomorrow they might have an option to be an ad hoc staff. You think this is the kind of scenario that will definitely just put those kind of people off, saying, listen, if I have to...
There was also another statement, just to mention, from INEC this afternoon about Brass local government showing about the staff that were taken hostage in the local government. This is becoming like synonymous with Bayelsa election. This also happened in 2019. I agree with you. I don't think this should be happening. It's going to sincerely discourage other people from wanting to become INEC ad hoc staff, especially in a very hostile environment like what we are seeing currently in Bayelsa.
And this is what several people have pointed out. In spite of the amendments that civil society, INEC, everyone talks about, every election cycle, one form of amendment or the other. Yet, you have this kind of attitude and character from certain political office holders who want to win at all costs. They still do this. So, is it not beyond amendment of our laws now to the people?
The law has been amended. Of course, if you look at the Electoral Act very well, it's well crafted in such a way that there are punitive measures for certain deviant behavior. The question or the problem we have is walking the talk, belling the cat and dealing with the people that are, perpetrating all this. These people are emboldened to do what they are doing because they know the kind of people that are backing them. If you arrest those people now, the next thing you see is that is either they disappear from the police custody or their whereabouts is nowhere to be, to be located. So what we'll be looking at is not only arresting the people that perpetrate this, but going after their sponsors until we get to that point. Because the Electoral Act made it very clear that there will be punitive measure for the people that perpetrate this. There will be punitive measure for even the political party in terms of fines and all that. But until we get to that point where the law will not be knowing any king, we keep on having this kind of challenges. And it's really unfortunate that Nigerians that are out to serve their country will be put in this line of danger just because they want to do their civic duty.
I know we tried different things to see how we could get our laws better. Elections, a lot more integrity. Should we try or revisit, because it used to happen back in the day, strengthening political party system such that members are financial members, and so it won't be easy for any money bag to walk in, call the shots, run roughshod over people? Would that work in this current circumstance?
I think there was also an attempt, even during the amendment of the new Electoral Act, as it were, to put that in the Act, Section 84, about party finances and all of that. There was a push if we can have a cap as to how much a party should charge, for instance, for nomination forms and all of that. And I recall the then president saying, oh, this is an internal party affair. So there is the whole party structure, party system is shrouded in so much misery that you begin to wonder what is even happening there. Like, you need that process to truly be open for people to even understand what the political parties are doing. This thing we say every day, becoming even a cliche, like every time you hear internal party democracies and all of that, but there is no political will to execute some of these beautiful recommendations that you hear from stakeholders. So it is becoming a recurring decimal with every election, And for this party, no ideology. They will tell you it exists in paper. But all the people are interested is just that platform for political ascendance, and that is all. Nobody is even interested in building the institution, as it were, the political party structure.
Gentlemen, raising some of these issues where everybody's putting hands together to see how we can get our systems work better so that in the long run, because our recruitment process is key to a lot of what rises or falls or what goes well or not. And now, add to that, the newly appointed or nominated resident electoral commissioners that were cleared by the Senate. Some of them, you clearly see them in party fatigue, political party fatigue. So now, if that is going to be a trend, can we ever expect elections to be transparent? Because if you have party members in political parties, they certainly will want their party to win, no matter how much you funnel into INEC.
Well, your guess is as good as mine, and there is a plain answer that you can never have a credible election if the political party will keep on putting their own person in the electoral umpire listing. For instance, now, we made this kind of complaint in the build-up to 2023 general election, where we have about 4 resident electoral commissioner, being a card-carrying member of political party. including the one in Imo State now.
One in Sokoto.
One in Sokoto and
Zamfara.
Zamfara and which state again? I think
Akwa Ibom.
Plateau or something.
Rivers.
Now this time around, now they have taken the impunity way higher now. This time.